Hello and welcome to Tower Duo Season 2, Episode 0. So, today isn't really a real episode, it's just sort of coverage of the Pokemon Presents, which happened earlier today, and we are finally getting around to making our video on it. So, with that out of the way, Connor, why don't you tell us what exactly happened at the event for those who may not have had time to watch it?
Oh, okay. Well, first off, Pokemon Unite is getting a big update. No, okay, I'm just kidding. I know what you're probably here for, and that's for two things, which are Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl and Legends Arceus. And
Brilliant
those are the
Diamond,
only
Shining Pearl,
things
Legend
that are.
Arceus.
Oh,
That's three.
well, if you group them together, it's okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
we're
two
gonna cover
things.
those two groups of things today. First off, being the one that I personally am a little more interested in, just because I have a pretty big attachment to the Diamond and Pearl games, which is Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And so we got a lot of pretty big announcements today. A lot of, some things I wasn't expecting, other things that I was expecting. And so first off, let's talk about one of the things that I wasn't expecting, which is basically the having Pokemon follow you again. It seemed very similar to the implementation in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee,
Yeah, I would
which
say
I thought was pretty good. I
yeah, I
don't know,
would
what are
say
your thoughts on that?
that it's more similar to that compared to the expansion pass Pokemon following you.
Mhm.
Like I feel like that game in general is more similar to Let's Go. And I think that that's
Yeah.
definitely the direction that they're trying to go. Is they're trying to diverge. They like it used to be that all the games were a little bit serious and a little bit casual, and then they've sort of split off into the very casual games and then the more serious games. And that's what we're
Yeah.
seeing with
Well,
Legends Arceus.
I wouldn't say that they ever got, like, I don't think they ever breached the void of, like, I don't think they ever got more serious.
Well, that's true, and like not even Legends Arceus is gonna be like a really serious game, but
Yeah.
it's my point is that it's more on the serious side, and
Yeah.
that
No, I follow you for sure there.
and
Yeah.
I think that what triggered that is the graphics on the Switch being good enough to where they have the option to make something realistic enough that like you kind of have to take it seriously. Like it's definitely not a cartoon anymore. And
Yeah. Yeah. No, I follow you.
yep.
Yeah.
So
So,
that's essentially what was going on. And before I think they weren't really sure what direction they were going, but I mean, let's face it, the graphics is a huge jump over not just like the original Sinnoh games, but even over like Ultra Sun and Moon, just because it's a
yeah.
new console generation. And so since Pokemon has been on the Switch, they've had to completely change up the way they think about graphics in Pokemon.
Hmm. Yeah. No, they have to do a lot more work, making like actual animations and things, since they're on like a bigger console than just relying on the person's imagination to do all the work. Like,
Yes.
with sprites, it's just a still image
Yep.
of, each Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that Pokemon is moving because you can imagine it,
Right.
doing the move. But in
Yep.
these games, they actually perform the moves. So it's like,
Right.
you have to uh, actually animate it properly so that, it looks about as good optimally as what somebody would imagine it to look, I guess.
Yeah, that's true, and it's also difficult because Pokemon now come in a very wide range of sizes in terms of like they've always
Mhm.
had like heights in the Pokédex, but now those heights are actually visible. Like if you think about
Yeah.
like back in the original games, every Pokemon, no matter what it was, it could be Willard, it could be Joltik, and it was gonna be like the same like this tall.
Exactly. Yeah.
on the screen. And that was
Mhm.
even true, like in Generation 7. And
Yep.
so now they have to think, okay, like if something's using a move that's like one of the punches, for example. First of all, if it's a Pokemon that doesn't have arms, where's the punch coming from? If it's a Pokemon that does have arms, where are those arms? And how
Mhm.
long are they? Is it Wobbuffet or is it Ambipom that we're talking about? And
Wow. Yeah.
they have to consider all those things, so it's definitely a lot more complicated. I can see why they would feel like they don't have the development resources to include every single Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I follow you there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like speaking of including every single Pokemon, this is something I've kind of been thinking about. And from everything that I've seen, I seriously doubt. Like, okay, I think that it's going to work exactly like Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are going to work exactly at like Diamond and Pearl, where you beat the league, you get the national dex, but the national dex is going to stop at 493. It's not going to go any higher. Uh,
That
I don't think any Pokemon past Generation 4 are going to be obtainable in the game.
didn't in the game. So I know that they're going to be able to connect to home. So
Mhm.
you're saying just like completely not able to be moved in. I think that is really that would be really interesting if they did that, because it'd be
Mhm.
sort of like going back in time. Like you have to forget about basically everything like after that, which is weird to think like that.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I don't know. Like my main reason for doing this is because of how they're not going to have competitive battling. Like they're keeping competitive battling within Sword and Shield.
mhm.
And I guess an argument could be made, but like, yeah, because you can't Dynamax in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. But I don't know. Throughout, like the precedent's kind of been set that the remake is going to be the competitive one after when it comes out. So I feel like it's more than just the lack of Dynamax. I really feel like they're just going to not include anything past what was in Diamond and Pearl, because then it just wouldn't, it would be an entirely different online meta. It would actually be like
Yeah.
like you were saying, it would definitely be really weird if they just said, okay, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is now competitive.
All right, go back to your 2007 meta.
Yeah, and then everyone just starts looking up the 2007 meta. Oh
Yep.
my gosh.
I'm like, and a lot of people would have to learn it for the first time.
Yeah, no, Cresilia's coming back to the scene, ladies and gentlemen.
Hmm.
But
So
yeah, I don't know. Just from all the material that I've seen, that's my guess. I
yeah.
think it does have functionality with home.
Hmm.
I'm sure you can, put things that are from Generation 4 and before into the game,
Yep.
but it's going to do the same thing with the Sword and Shield, where it just doesn't let you put in
Hmm.
anything else.
Yeah, I mean, if there's like that would be a logical limitation. Like if you're gonna say like only roughly that many, but like
Mm-hmm.
that would be a logical limitation to put. But I feel at the same time that it would be an unusual limitation to put, because then I'm thinking like, okay, so all the Pokemon that are from generations 5, 6, and 7 that
Mm-hmm.
can't go into any of these games. Like how long do they have to sit there? Like I have a Zebstrika in my home. It can't go into Sword and Shield, even with the expansion
Yeah.
pass. It's a Gen 5 Pokemon, so it wouldn't be able to go into BDSP under your
Mm-hmm.
theory. Um,
Yeah.
so it's just gonna sit there until, so there's no way to get it out of home
Yeah.
until a game is released that it can go into, which would have to be Do you see them making a game
Yeah, no,
towards the
I
end
see
of
the point that you're making. Yeah,
2022?
like I don't know, like when you look at the trailer, you see that all the models have been like polished and redone.
Yeah,
Well, maybe not. Well, polished. That I guess not redone is a pretty strong word.
improved.
So they would have to polish like every single. They have to total like they have to redo. Or how do I keep saying that? They have to
Improve.
optimize every model that they put into that game.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh no, like seeing how hard they're driving back, like oh yeah, it's a faithful recreation, and oh man, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
be enjoying nostalgic Sinnoh. I
Yeah.
just don't think they're going to let you do that.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know. Do you think they're going to?
I think that if they want, I think it would be a smart move not to, and by not to I mean like to include Pokemon from uh future generations, like
Yeah.
generations 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that that would be a
Mhm.
smart move. But if they just don't have the development resources, especially at whatever company is developing, it's not Niantic, but it's like related to
Oh
Niantic.
yeah.
Um,
Ilko.
yeah, that company. Um,
Yeah.
like if they just don't have the development resources to do it, then or if it's because of coronavirus that they don't have the development resources to do it, then it's like, all right, I'm gonna let them go on that one because coronavirus has devastated every conceivable thing.
Yeah, I know. It sure has ruined a lot. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Uh, well, all right. I feel like we just about exhausted that topic. Here's another one. What are your thoughts on the new super contest?
Yeah, so I don't really know that much about previous Diamond and Pearl contests because like when I was doing my playthrough, I never did any. And I know that they're
Okay.
different from the ones in Hoenn they're because they're not the ones in Hoenn. Um,
Yeah.
one thing I noticed is that 1 minute and 35 seconds into the trailer, um, there's apparently like they got like a combo of two and then like a combo of three.
Hmm.
It does seem to imply that it's like a motion control based.
Huh.
This was for the cuteness contest. Maybe the other ones are
Yeah.
different. There's actually
Well, okay. I guess I can explain to you how the contests work in Diamond and Pearl.
okay.
So it's kind of broken up into three parts. So like, I don't know. You have like the cuteness
Yep.
contest, the smart contest, the tough contest, but they
Okay.
they all work exactly the same.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
just
If I could
there's
just get like a
rules and
really
strategies.
brief overview of this.
Yeah. So they all work exactly the same. And then the first event is the dress up contest where the dress up portion, where you're given a prompt and then you have to dress up your Pokemon with your accessories to best work to that prompt. And so, the prompt will be like, oh, it's the created. So you'll have to give it things that were artificially created. So it doesn't really, have to look good. You just have to put the right accessories on, and then you get a high score.
It's like so many
Uh,
other things. You don't need to actually do the task. You just need to meet all the criteria and get all the keywords. It's like
yes,
so many other
exactly.
things.
Mhm. So you'll get like more hearts depending on how good your Pokemon looks and how high their rating is and like cute, smart, or tough with like the potions you fed them. And then after that, you have the dancing contest, which is what you were talking about with the combos.
Okay.
So what happens is it plays a song, and then there's like a lead Pokemon who like you have to just basically tap the screen, like tap a dance move to the beat.
Okay.
And so the lead Pokemon does it, and then right after, all the other Pokemon have to try their best to imitate what the lead Pokemon did.
Okay, so this is where I feel like the motion controls would really come in, because I feel like they're not just gonna have you tap the screen. Like, I don't know, I was really getting that impression that that it was like a motion controls type of thing. I think I might have even seen like a controller logo at some point.
Really?
I'm not sure. I kind of feel like this would be like a cool thing to do, like docked, with friends. Do you remember before, if the contests, like back when like the online for Gen 4 was still online, you could do them with like actual people.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like if
you could only do them locally, you couldn't do them with just random people.
Yeah, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like that'll be like the thing that's like really cool to do docked. I guess.
Yeah.
Like you give each person a Joy-Con type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I follow you. Yeah, no, that would be probably really fun to do, honestly. And Pokemon kind of hasn't really used motion controls at all, like except for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, where I feel like they weren't implemented all that great, to be perfectly honest.
Not really. I mean, it was just for throwing Pokeballs.
Yeah.
And
yeah, pretty much.
Which was
that the only thing you could do?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah,
and they made you play that whole game with the Joy-Con just for catching Pokemon.
Yep. And then you could kind of it made something kind of silly, because the Pokemon that were supposed to have low catch rates had to like move around the screen. It's like, but that Pokemon shouldn't be able to like move like that. But whatever.
So with the contest, so yeah, definitely the majority of what we saw in the trailer, I think, was the dancing section.
Yes.
And yeah, it looks pretty cool. I don't think it's gonna work the same as it did in Diamond and Pearl, but that's fine. I don't know. I wish they made like new animations for dancing, but it seems like, just from what I saw in the trailer, they're just like using their idols, which is kind of looks weird, but what can you do, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's just the sort of thing that's like, okay, that is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can't really expect them to put that much work into just a side game.
Right. Yes.
Because, I mean, nobody really, like, contests didn't really pick up very much steam, I guess you could say, when they were released in Diamond and Pearl, so.
Yeah.
Definitely making an animation for each and every Pokemon. Yeah, that might be a bit too much work.
Yeah, they would not do that. Well, anyhow, so one thing that I thought was really interesting is now I don't know if this is just like a trailer thing or if this is like how you're actually gonna do it, but like there's this one part where Dawn enters the underground via basically a bottomless pit opening up instead of going through like the regular way. And that was something
that's always happened.
Yeah, that's always happened then.
Yeah, when you go to the underground, you just jump in a bottomless pit.
Okay.
Like, then just a giant hole just pops up in the ground and you just fall in. It's so weird.
I thought that might have been different from the way that it was in the original games, but okay, that's normal. Then we gotta confirm that it's normal. They didn't change it.
Yeah, no, I know too much about those games.
It's also called the Grand Underground now, and what I feel like is the difference is that there's like other areas to explore, like not really, like it doesn't like transition from thing to thing, but there's like pockets of forest or pockets of like violent explosive hell full of lava.
Yeah, I forget what they were called in the trailer, but yeah.
They're called
it seems like just Pokemon of that type always appear there. So if you're in like the grass one, you'll get a lot of grass types.
Yeah.
The fire one, you get a lot of fire types. And
they're called the Overworld, the Nether, and the End. That's what they're called.
Oh man.
That's what I'm gonna call them.
Oh man, I can't wait. It's
'Cause,
like, oh yeah,
although the
it's
entire
normal
underground
to
is
call a
sort of the
hound
nether.
dude. Wow, huh? But yeah, so I wasn't expecting them to do this. Honestly, like I was getting to the point where I was feeling like they weren't going to announce anything for the games before they came out, just because,
Yeah.
it was how long did they get announced? Like 6 months?
Yeah, I think it was like 5 months.
Yeah,
So,
we got nothing the
and then
whole
we only
time.
got this, which
Yeah.
for how long we waited isn't that much. Although it does give me a bit more hope. Like before, I was kind of thinking like these games are gonna be pretty bad, and then after
Yeah.
this trial, I'm like, okay, these games are gonna be all right. Not not maybe what Pokemon games should be. It's like did they still deserve to be called like main series Pokemon games? I guess yes,
Yeah.
depending on what you define, depending on how narrow your definition of main series Pokemon game is.
Mhm.
My definition includes them.
Yeah,
Um,
like, can you really consider Let's Go to be a main series game?
that was definitely like a debate at the time, but Let's Go is then. This is now. Well, not even now, but like upcoming. Um, so that was one thing that I noticed.
Hmm.
I thought that the reflections, while very good, were maybe like a bit much. Like for as not that realistic as these games are, like the reflections seemed almost like too good compared to everything else. Like the reflection
Like,
in Rowan's lab or the
oh yeah,
galactic,
yeah, yeah.
versus a galactic grunt battlefield. That
Uh-huh.
did seem to be like those reflections are like spot on. Um,
Hmm.
it's like
Yeah,
is everything
they put a
else
lot
gonna
of work into little details like that. Yeah.
yes is everything else gonna get to that level, or the reflections just gonna stick out as like they just put so much effort into that they don't have any effort to put into anything else. Speak of little details, I heard you mention to me earlier that you
Mhm.
saw a cut tree.
Oh yeah, yeah. So there was on one of the routes, I forget, it's right next to Veilstone City. But it showed a clip of like kind of panning through it. And so there was a tree in that clip that was obviously one that you need to use the HM for cut on in the original games.
Hmm.
And this didn't get any explanation or anything. So it's kind of up in the air how you're supposed to cut the tree. Are they going to bring back HMs? Are they going to do something akin to what Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee did, and just find a different way to cut down the tree?
I
But
think I think they've moved
yeah.
past HMs once and for all. I think
Hmm.
it's a done deal. They're not gonna go back to HMs, and I think that what they're probably gonna do instead, I would guess like a key item, because you
Hmm.
don't have that like Pikachu or Eevee that's just like always gonna be there and have like the secret things like you like if
Yeah.
it's just about like you give them to anybody, then it's basically back to HMs but not calling them HMs. So that's what like HMs, no way. Give a chainsaw to a 10-year-old, sure, fine.
Yeah, no, that's actually a pretty good idea doing it with key items. Like, yeah, I definitely follow you there. That's pretty smart. Just like putting it in the key item slot so that you don't have to worry about, ever carrying around with you.
Yep.
Yeah, huh. Like, I don't know. There is something about HMs though that I've always kind of liked, and
Mm-hmm.
that's like, let's say you're on like one of the late game routes and there's a cut tree with an item behind it. Like, oh darn, I don't have the Pokemon that I need to get this item.
Mm-hmm.
But like a lot of people say like, oh, that's bad game design because just I didn't have the right thing. But no, you can still make it through the route. But you can come back. You can, like, I don't know. I'd say it's good game design because it's saying like it's making you use your mind and say, hey, there's a cut tree here. Next time I go through this route, I should bring a Pokemon who knows cut, and then I can get that item. Like, I don't know. I think really good game design. And if you just make it a key item, like, it's like, why is the tree even there at that point? You know?
Just to make you take 2 more seconds. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do like that. So okay, so you're saying like make the optional, put the optional stuff behind an optional barrier, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Um,
think it's really dumb though
yeah,
if they put you on a late game route and then it's like, oh, you need rock smash to progress through this route. And
you
if you
mean
didn't have it because you had no idea that you needed to have it, but yeah, you needed to have it. Sorry, you got to go all the way back to the Pokemon Center and get an HM slave who knows rock smash.
you mean like Sinnoh?
Like that's really dumb, and I don't think that should exist. But I mean, when you play the game a couple times, then it's nice because you know which HMs you need. So
Yeah, I would say that compared to other regions, you need a lot of HMs to make your way through Sinnoh. Like that's something that I noticed in
yeah,
my playthrough that I recently finished up. Is like, it's like I'm dedicating like 3 of my team members are specifically there to know a specific HM, and they aren't actually useful. And I feel
yeah,
like that's where the concept that sort of like everybody's Sinnoh team is exactly the same because you need you need something for Fly and you might as well use Raptor, and you need something for various things, so you might as well use Bidoof. Like Bidoof is gonna stop being like the thing that's on everybody's team that no one actually needs, because if you don't need HMs.
hmm yeah. And actually, speaking of the team always being the same, another big reason for that is that the selection of Pokemon in Diamond and Pearl is relatively limited due to its controversial regional Pokédex. And so a question that a lot of people have been asking is, are they going to use the Platinum Regional Dex, which added, I don't know exactly how many Pokemon it added, but it added a lot of Pokemon that gave a lot more type diversity and made, gave you more options in your initial playthrough to be the champion. So will that be put in this Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
So, in the comment section of one of the videos, someone actually said, "While Houndoom confirms that BDSP will have the Platinum Sinnoh Dex, truly, we have treated this game too harshly."
Hmm.
And what do you know in terms of like where you can get Houndoom? Like, does that actually confirm
Well,
availability?
wait. Oh yeah, yeah. There was one. There was a Houndoom. I know you can. I'm pretty sure you can get a Houndour in post game. Like, it's not in the regional decks,
Okay.
but you can get it in the post game. It's one of the outbreak Pokemon that, like, you go to a TV and it's like, oh, there's an outbreak happening on Route 209.
Mm-hmm. But
There's Houndour there, but so you can obtain it, but it's kind of niche, and it's like not until post game. Uh,
Wild Houndoom, like already evolved. Is that
yeah,
anywhere?
yeah. I don't think there's any way to obtain a Houndoom. Well, apart from just evolving the Houndour or getting it from an earlier generation or something.
Yeah.
Um, but oh yeah, so that was in the Grand Underground, right?
I
Like,
believe so.
okay. Well, if that's the case, like, I don't know, I can't see them putting it anywhere other than there, because I don't think they're gonna change. I don't think they're gonna change the encounters from Diamond and Pearl. Again, that's just a hunch, but I feel like it's justified, maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't feel like they would take the time to change that either, unless
Yeah.
they're changing it to whatever is in Platinum, if they go that route.
Oh yeah.
The
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it matters that much. Like, Platinum changed pretty much all the encounter rates for like everywhere for like no reason. Like, they just decided they wanted to. I don't know. But yeah, with that Houndour appearing in the underground, I remember that they talked about how what appears in the underground depends on what items you have in your secret base. So it could be that Houndour is linked to an item you can only get in post game. So I don't think that doesn't guarantee that Houndour is in the regional decks. I feel like it's a really good chance. It probably is.
Yeah.
But it might just be a bait. I don't know. And we didn't see any content from post game, so I really think it's unlikely that would happen. I'm just saying there's a chance.
Yeah, the other thing that I was going to point out is that there is a time in the trailer when Cynthia shows up, and it is at, and I don't have like all of these times memorized, so I kind of need you for this. It's by like a dark blue and black building, and in the background is like a reddish brown stone. Like that's like what the ground is made of there. Like where would that?
Wait, what's made of the reddish brown thing?
Like the ground is like reddish brown stone. Like in like the background. Like there's like a hill. And I know what I do know is that there's one time when Cynthia shows up, at least one in Platinum, where she doesn't show up in Diamond and Pearl. So I'm just wondering if that would be one of the times that it's like only if you really know what's going on would you be able to tell that.
I think she might be standing in front of the Galactic Eterna building, which is where she gives you surf, maybe. I don't know. I do know that you encounter her in front of the Galactic Eterna building, which is like a dark blue color.
Yes.
And I know Eterna City's like older, so it would probably use like orange stone like that.
No, it wasn't like in terms of like the city itself. Is like the background, like what the natural landscape is.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly sure. I just know that there aren't that many like a big color for Team Galactic is dark blue, so I'm assuming it would be that one.
Yep. Wait. Okay. I'm gonna interrupt you for just a second. Eterna City, on the original map, does have like that pretty much that same stone color. So.
Okay.
I am just a little bit. What's it? Yeah. So that is almost certainly what that is showing.
Yeah.
It's just at a camera angle that we're not used to. What's strange is that I don't remember seeing cut trees in that one, but there's cut trees in front of the Eternal Galactic building in the originals, so...
Oh, yeah.
Maybe...
I mean, I don't know. I'd have to look at that image. I don't remember... Yep. I just remember looking at Cynthia. I wasn't really looking at the background.
Yep.
Huh, yeah. Interesting. Either, like, I don't know, and they could have just gone through and cut them all.
Yeah.
Before that cutscene or something. I don't know.
Yeah. One other thing that struck me as interesting.
You encounter her in front of that building in Diamond and Pearl.
Yes.
Okay. I know that. I'm not sure where the unique platinum encounter is exactly, but I know that you do it.
It's like, yeah, I don't know either. What I thought was interesting about the trailer is something that wasn't in there, is that they never call Cynthia the champion, even though everyone's known that forever because these are remakes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I noticed that too, yeah.
They're like, she's very important.
Yeah. No, it's like, there's no way Cynthia's not the champion. I feel like they're just doing it for people who are somehow in the know enough to watch the trailer, but just don't know that she's the champion. Because, I mean, in the original game, you never know that she's the champion until you meet her, you know, in the champion room.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're just trying to keep it consistent with what you see in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, for the new fans. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people where this is their first Pokemon game.
Uh-huh.
And as to how they learned about the trailer,
yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
They follow the Switch. They follow upcoming big games on the Switch, and they also know that Pokemon is like a big thing. So this is gonna be their first Pokemon game. I don't know. I'm just going over there. Let's talk a little bit because we don't have that much time left. Let's talk
Okay.
about Legends Arceus, that trailer.
All right. Yeah. Sure. So I thought that the Legend Arceus trailer was really good. Like I said before, I wasn't as interested in it. And a main reason for that is just because we have no idea what to expect with that game. Like with BDSP, it's like I want this, I want this, and I want this. But with Legend Arceus, it's like it's so the possibilities are kind of endless. So I don't have any expectations for it. Just whatever they announce, like, oh, that's pretty cool. And so they definitely went into a lot of depth over that trailer, giving us info on like how the battling system works with like strong attacks and quick attacks or whatever it was. And so I don't know. I really like what I saw. I didn't see any bad frame rate things with like the jingling thing in the other trailer. So that's really promising. It shows that they're putting a lot of work in. And yeah, it looks a lot like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. What I think was really surprising for me is that it is not Sinnoh. It is Hisui, which is later Sinnoh, but it's like not. It's like there's gotta be a reason. It's like do they rename the region as Sinnoh as part of the story, or do we not get to see that? And maybe it's just like things get just physically changed so much that they feel like they have to rename the region. Also, it's definitely like whatever it's called. It's like Team Galactic is like a worse spin-off of the organization that you work for.
Oh yeah.
And it's like
shoot. I forget what it was called too.
Yeah, it's Galaxy something. I don't know what like Galaxy Coalition or something what it actually is called. But that really intrigues me.
There's definitely a lot of references to things that are in Diamond and Pearl, like that Team Galaxy and like Mount Coronet, just kind of just being there, I guess.
Just being there.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing gameplay on that.
Yes.
Just linking all the things together. It's like, oh yeah, of course, that's where that shrine came from. That sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't think we're quite. I don't think this is set quite long enough ago for like, oh look, they're building this ancient shrine that isn't so ancient because it's not that long ago because it's like there's at least steam technology.
Yeah, you're right, and like that kind of begs the question though, like what happens to like the Pokemon that appear in that region and nowhere else? Like, why is the Stantler 2? Why is he not in Sinnoh? What happened to Stantler 2?
I think that maybe that sort of might be kind of sad, and it might just be overhunting or something like that, or over
It
touching.
could be, yeah.
People in the region just grind in that area. They just level grind for so long that there's none left.
Oh man, I can't believe they would do that. Yeah, and I mean, like Stantler itself in Sinnoh, I think might be another outbreak Pokemon. It's either an outbreak one or it's unobtainable. So, yeah. Kind of rough.
I think though that it is a bit of a plot hole because if it's only a couple hundred years, which I'm pretty sure that it is, a couple hundred years ago, and it's like, and you tell me that in that time the whatever species of Pokemon, not just the species but also the Hisuian variants like the Growlithe, literally does not exist by the time of like modern day Sinnoh. It's like
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And like Sinnoh itself isn't even all that, technologically sound or anything.
yeah.
Like, I guess like the biggest, like, oh man, this is, in the future is probably Sunny Shore,
Mm-hmm.
where like they have roads that also work as solar panels.
Yeah.
But like that's still not even like that's not crazy tech or anything.
Right. Yeah. And especially if you can just hire a Metagross to invent things, then I think technology would move a little bit faster. I don't know. I don't know. Just speculation. What I think is interesting, though, is that like you mentioned Sunny Shore, like usually place names change over time, and the
Yeah.
fact that it's explicitly named after what it is, in a way that's like still legible,
Hmm.
leads me to believe that places like that are newer, versus
Yeah.
like that. There's a lot of other places in Pokemon that are less like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Eterna City,
Yeah.
which is literally named after being old.
Yep. Yeah, I was like, what is it? What was it called for that? I'm sure we'll find out. Because that's one of the theories as to like that like starting town. Like this goes back to the original Legends Arceus trailer of like that the town shown in that becomes Eterna eventually.
Yeah.
Hey, if they can rename the whole region, they can rename Eterna.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. And at the same time, though, like, if it was Eterna City, then where's the statue? Because the statue of either Dialga or Palkia is in Eterna City, and it's said that it's been there for an incredibly long time, and that nobody even knows what it is anymore.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Yeah.
Um, maybe to them an incredibly long time is like just longer than like a couple human lifetimes. Like
Yeah.
sort of like if we say like, oh yeah, that happened a really long time ago, and we're talking U.S. history, and it's 1830, and it's like 1830, and the rest of the world is like, oh yeah, that's pretty recent.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking that like out of Pokemon regions, Sinnoh is a fairly recent development in terms of like how long it's had advanced civilization and like an advanced Pokemon League. And
Huh.
like I would say Galar's been around. Galar's had like an advanced civilization in Pokemon League for a very long time.
Yeah.
But Sinnoh maybe not. And the reason I say that is because like if it's gone from like in just a couple hundred years from basically just a couple of small villages pretty much to what it is by the time of BDSP or the original Diamond and Pearl, it's like that's kind of more like a not recently inhabited place, but
Yeah.
like a recently advanced place, like the United States.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh, yeah. No, that makes sense.
and I'm just trying to think like what is the order in which the Pokemon leagues were founded, like of each region.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe that could be a video for another day. Who knows?
Maybe it could be.
Yeah. So I don't know. You have any closing thoughts on what was announced in either of the trailers?
I think that what we saw today, by combining them, really showed me the direction that Pokemon thinks it wants to go. And I think that I had a little bit of a sense of that before, like I was piecing it together, but now I have a really clear understanding, like, they have this sort of progression, they're going to alternate, and I think they've sort of figured out that they've reached the top and that they're the biggest franchise, and they're like trying to hold on to their position because it's very different. Sort of like in the Pokemon games themselves, it's very different when you're trying to become the champion versus when you are already the champion and trying to make sure that you don't lose your position. And that's sort of what the Pokemon franchise has done. They've worked their way up. Now they're the biggest franchise in the world. And so they have to do what they can to just hold that position. And so they're trying to appeal to more by splitting their appeal in half into the newcomers and the veterans. I'm just going to use those terms because those are terms that I can think of. So, and that's what has become abundantly clear. Also, with Legends Arceus coming out so soon after Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Well, that was unusual. Wait. So, what I was saying before there was unfortunately a network error, is that I think it's interesting that they're putting these games so close together. It's like they want to use Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl almost as a way to like get people more excited for Legends Arceus, potentially, because I don't feel like they've done a release cycle like this in the past. Or if they have, it's a long time ago.
Yeah, that is a really pretty good idea, yeah. Like, and that would kind of explain why they haven't really released anything on Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Like, it's kind of going to be a springboard for Legends Arceus, which they're probably going to go a lot more in depth with when it comes to advertising and, you know, giving us info on. That could be definitely a pretty strong idea. I don't know, that might be happening.
Yeah, I think that we're definitely seeing this shift in terms of, even though Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are the more traditional games, Legend of Arceus is the game that they're focusing more on or putting more effort into. And it just makes me wonder, like, what does this mean for the long-term future of Pokemon? What sort of things will we be talking about in the 30th and 35th anniversary of Pokemon?
Yeah, that is something to talk about, yeah.
Yes.
Well, you know what? One thing's for sure. No matter how much work they put into either of those games, they're both going to be $60.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, I feel like that just about wraps everything up on our initial thoughts with this. We might go into a bit more depth after, you know, we've had a bit more time to think about what was in the trailers. Maybe, you know, we'll discover more things or watch videos on other people discovering new things. And,
Yes.
I don't know. But look forward to Season 2 of Tower Duo.
Yes, so regarding that, we are going to have a more organized season, hopefully. Of course, as you're able to see right now, we have this lovely new background that has been mostly made by Connor, so thank you very much for that. And we have some great content coming up during Season 2, so hopefully you will stick around and tell everybody who would be remotely interested in this sort of thing about this. So that is definitely something to look forward to, is this upcoming season, which is actually going to start next week. So a day and a week. I should have said that backwards. A week and a day from now is when Season 2 will be starting, and then there will be episodes every Thursday, I promise.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you then. Tower Duo out.